Is peeping a crime?
Is what? Oh, the old man. That's gotta be like an invasion of privacy, right?
It's a great place to intro. Is peeping a crime? Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Best Rivals. I am your ever so humble host, Michael, and I am once again joined by the illustrious Ben. So, hey, Ben.
Heyo, I am illustrious.
I can't think of a word for cutie. The pragmatic cutie.
Hello, pragmatism over
That's
here.
a good word. That's a good word.
It's pragmatic mean? I don't know. I don't know what pragmatic means.
It means like practical.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that fits cutie.
That fits cutie.
Today we have an interesting topic. If you haven't garnered from the title of the video or the episode or from the intro, we're talking about crime in Pokemon.
So initially the plan was to look at the kill count of each game, how many characters have like canonically or implied to have died. But we opened it up to a sort of wider spectrum then, just all crime.
Yeah, it turns out not a lot of people die in the Pokemon games. Who would have thought?
I counted like 5, I think. We were asking before if we wanted to go by region or by crime, and I think we agreed that the best way to do it would be by region.
Alright.
And sort of try to keep as on track as possible, because we might like think of something later on, or something that we say for Unova remind us of something in Hoenn.
Okay.
So I guess we begin.
Yeah.
I would like to turn everyone's attention to public intoxication as our first crime on the docket in the Kanto region. The first town you go to in the Kanto region, Viridian City. The old man who has not had his coffee yet and is blocking the road because
he
of
is
it.
Blocking traffic.
Yes, he is obstructing he's obstructing the peace, and in the Japanese version, I believe he's intoxicated and he's hungover, and that's why he's blocking it. Whereas they censored it to hasn't had his coffee yet, and that's why he's in the mood.
I mean, coffee addicts, alcoholics. No real censorship there, just better theming.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird Roblox in the Pokemon games, and that's the first one they went with ever. He's a drunk old man.
Do you give him things? Do you give him, like, medicine or something?
No, he's there to stop you until you deliver Oak's parcel, and then you come back and he's in a better mood, and he does the catching tutorial.
Okay. So he's just gotten his morning coffee, or
he's got his morning coffee, or had a breakfast roll and is feeling better now.
Okay, not hair of the dog.
His morning inverted commas coffee.
Yes. The funniest thing is there is a kid like next to him, just like, oh yeah, Grandpa gets like this when he hasn't had his morning coffee. So like his family's concerned.
But the thing here is that it's a problem that kind of just sorts itself.
Yeah. And he's pretty nice once he's had his morning coffee.
He's pleasant. I like that.
He is pleasant.
His quote unquote morning coffee.
Yes, his code name morning coffee.
Grandpa's not as aggressive once he gets his coffee in the morning.
And then I think the next one is in Cerulean City. I would like to put forward extortion in the bike shop as a possible crime.
Okay.
Because he charges we also have our first encounter with Team Rocket in Cerulean. But the bike shop owner is charging like $1 million Pokédollars for a bicycle.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot. He has
a lot of bikes in there as well. It's not like one bike for $1 million.
He's the only bike seller in the region. He can charge whatever he wants.
He's got a monopoly.
and he's using it to full effect. So I think that would fall under extortion. It's not like threatening people, I suppose.
It's also to children,
yeah,
children's bikes.
Look at it from a sensible point of view. Maybe he gave that crazy number because it's a 10-year-old child asking, "Can I have a bike?"
That's
For
true.
free. And he's like, "No, they cost like $10 million. Come back when you have that much money." Stupid child. Stupid
It's like,
kid.
okay.
I'm not gonna have it.
and then
You
you
get
hand
like
him a voucher, and he's like, "Well, I have to give him the bike now."
It's like 100% off voucher as well, isn't
Yes,
it?
he just gives you the bike for free.
I feel like that must be like a front for some, like that must be a Team Rocket front. They're money laundering.
There
in that
are
bike shop.
there are other Team Rocket fronts in the Kanto region, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Because it's like he's selling them for a ludicrous price or giving them out for free. There's money laundering going on there.
Where do you get the voucher again? I forget. Is it the SSN?
Fan club, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
I think.
Maybe the fan club's in on it as well.
And I'm learning a lot about Pokemon. It actually, it's all tied to crime.
Yeah, that's the two like exciting ones that I could think of for Canada. It gets a little less exciting after that because after that you just get to theft and everything associated with Team Rocket.
Well, there was the whole Nugget Bridge thing, where they were hiring children or all that carry on. And then in Cerulean City, you've got the breaking and entering as well by a rocket.
Yes.
Gun. It's a real good first taste into what they're about.
Yeah, they like bust a wall in that house too, don't they? Or did they already have a back door?
They bust a hole in the wall.
What the hell?
And then it just never gets fixed. It's there forever.
Well, it was really convenient for public travel.
It was extremely. It's like the only way out of Cerulean City.
Like, oh, you don't have to cut HM? Okay, just go through this person's house.
It's also, if the funny fact is also you can't go back to Pewter if you don't have the cut HM.
Sorry, you can't
So
you
you're
can't
stuck in
climb
Cerulean.
cliffs or chop down trees. You're stuck here. The only place to go
Yep.
to is Bill's.
So maybe they were actually doing the public a favor by breaking that wall.
Okay, don't get us started on.
Yeah, Bill's an interesting one. He's a rich man with his own island that he invites children to.
Yeah.
We can just gloss over that.
His brain swapping with animals, that's like animal experimentation, right?
That's true.
I don't know if that's that's not on the list I have here of common criminal charges, but
It's a
It's
moral
definitely-
crime.
yeah, if not an actual crime.
I think.
Also, isn't the Nugget Bridge the way they hire you? It seems a bit pyramid schemey because they're like, "Oh, you want to work for Team Rocket, and then you can go get more people to work for Team Rocket."
Well, yeah, it's one of the most effective ways of building up a cult. Evil organization and let the followers do the work for you.
That's big brain. That's big brain.
Before that's most of Canada is just Team Rocket shenanigans from that point forward. But I would like to bring special attention to the game corner, which is just all sorts of problems because it's a front for a criminal organization.
Yeah, mainly that's the issue.
They are using it to traffic Pokemon,
Very rare Pokemon as well, yeah.
very rare Pokemon, illegal Dratinis.
Yeah.
And gambling illegal in modern day Pokemon.
Yep, you can't go to the game corner and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee because gambling illegal.
But yeah, even at or even the idea of that, a 10-year-old can go and get a coin case and then just gamble away all their money.
Yeah,
There's nothing in place there to check. Like, oh, you got a coin case? No bother, you got money? Okay, trade in for these coins, go gamble to your heart's content.
Go have fun. Because I know there's a casino like games corner in Sinnoh. Is that also a front, or is that a?
No, that one's legit.
Okay. Hey,
I think every casino or every game corner except for the Canton one is legit. I believe. Is the one in Goldenrod legit?
Yeah, it's legit. Yeah. No, yeah.
Because the Hoenn one is legit and the Sinnoh one is legit, and then they stopped making it from that point forward.
Yeah, you would think that at this point in the podcast that I would know what the second region in Pokemon is.
Michael, no.
But I still don't know which comes first, Hoenn or Johto.
Do you want to do? All right, I'll let you take the lead on the next segment. Which region are we going to next, Michael?
Oh boy. Johto.
Good lad.
Oh, phew. Okay.
That is correct.
Before we do move on,
okay.
Course, the whole intro to this about the peeping.
Yeah.
Is that
Kanto? I forgot about him.
So
that's Kanto, yeah.
I'd say the Celadon gym. There's just an old man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Erica's gym only hires women.
Uh-huh.
And there's just an old man outside of it looking in the window who has been censored in the modern games.
What does he do?
Because in the old ones, he says, I love this gym, it's full of strong trainers, is what he says in the modern games. It's not what he says in the old games.
Oh boy.
He says, I love this gym, it's full of women.
Yo.
Prison. That's the worst offense.
Yes. Woods.
And like he's out in the open. He's right beside.
He's not even hiding it. A 10-year-old comes up to him like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm looking at the women in the gym."
Yeah, it's just a kid he's telling this to.
Yeah.
Like nobody's gonna believe the child. He can say whatever he wants.
Old men just don't care.
There's like a window. They can probably see him from like inside the gym, but he doesn't care.
He's just standing perfectly still, looking in. Looks like a sticker on the window. With how consistent he is, occasionally turning away to explain to a child what he's doing.
He's all about them strong trainers now.
Yeah.
Big, strong. Sorry.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's the worst offense in Kanto.
In my eyes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one in Kanto like dies or anything. I don't think. Lance cheats if you want to get into like game mechanic stuff, or is that in Johto he does that?
No, he does that.
There's like, there's like having Pokemon before you should be able to get them sort of stuff, but that's not really applicable to real life.
Okay.
Well, it kind of is. He just put his Dragonairs on steroids to evolve them into Dragonites.
That's true. It could be animal abuse.
And just because he's like in the Elite Four and the champion, apparently that's okay.
But yeah, he's got to have his Dragonites. Johto kicks off with some big no-no crimes. We have immediately, within like the first 10 minutes of the game, just breaking and entering and theft by Silver.
Who is also a child. Yes. But aside... Well, that's not true. I'll get to that in a second. There's the usual Team Rocket shenanigans, except this time they're stealing Slowpoke tails to sell. So, animal abuse, and I think there's another for like illegally getting an item and selling it, like black
market dealings.
Black market dealings. And then there's Lance, assault and battery. I think is where we're getting to.
In my client's defense, he was a criminal,
but he didn't know that when he hyper beamed him. It was there was another front. There was another front in Johto. Was it like a radio shack, like a radio station, building?
Radio shack / where it was a shop as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Was it the herb shop?
It might have been.
There's a shop in Johto, and you go there before in the game, and there's like a panel on the wall suspicious. It's like, oh, there's a breeze coming from behind it, but you never. It's the same as the poster in. In the Celadon game corner. But the dude who's like manning the front is like mostly above board, I believe. And then you come there later in the game, Lance, and like under suspicion of Team Rockets in the city, in the town somewhere. And Lance busts in with his Dragonite and orders the Dragonite to hyper beam the guy.
That's murder. How does this guy not die?
At least attempt.
Attempted murder. Yeah.
It also probably gets to breaking and entering at that point. He didn't know, I don't think, that there was the Team Rocket were in that building. He just had a pretty strong hunch, and then like you remove the panel, or one of you, and there's a whole like operation happening which is another crime because they're like torturing electrodes and stuff.
He Batman.
No, to be
Batman. Yeah.
Fair to Lance in this situation is
he was right.
We don't know what he said or what was said before we entered the building.
You just get in and he's like, Dragonite, use Hyper Beam.
So, there's a lot of context clues here missing. Not excusing the crimes of the souvenir shop, which in the old Gen 2 games actually sold Slowpoke tails before you
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so there was a clue. He gets like flung back and hits a wall as well. I don't know if yeah, it was pretty violent.
Apparently, in the
especially for
Masters
DS game, and Game Boy graphics.
Yeah, apparently in the Masters game, the dude shows up. He's a black belt trainer, and he's traumatized by what happened.
Wait, the dude from the souvenir shop shows up?
I read that earlier. He shows up.
Oh my god.
And he's very remorseful, and he's traumatized by what Lance did to him.
He could have been forced into that position,
Yeah, he absolutely could. That could have been like an above-board souvenir shop, and Team Rocket came in and been like, "We're building something. Say nothing, or we kill your family."
Yeah, and then Lance comes in and is like,
"I'm
not gonna kill
Lance
you.
murks him.
I'm just gonna hyper beam you.
I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna command my pet to do it."
Dragonite too, man.
Yeah.
About the souvenir shop is that the sign outside apparently reads, I can't confirm this, but it says just a souvenir shop, nothing suspicious about it, no need to be alarmed.
Yeah, it is an incredibly
to come and bust them down.
It is an incredibly suspicious building. Even when you go there the first time, it's like something's here, but the game won't let me find it.
It's weird. On the sign, he's capitalized in weird places. Like there's a random H, E, L, and P capitalized throughout the sign.
Mentioning that, so the J, the S, and just a souvenir shop is capitalized, and nothing suspicious about it. The N and the S are, and then no need to be alarmed. The two N's, the B and the A are. So there is random capitalization.
Oh no! Oh no!
That guy was looking for help. He welcomed the hyper beam.
It's like, yes, freedom.
I
don't think he hyperbeams anyone else, but just that one guy. And he was on like a mission as well. Like you get down there and he's like just blazing ahead of you. Very aggressive.
Is, why is Lance doing this and not like the police?
Well, he is the champion. So,
he's Batman.
He's Batman.
Yeah. He's like, oh, Team Rocket, I'm Batman. I didn't do anything when they were doing it in Kanto. I could do it next since I'm the champion.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna ask any questions. Like, come on.
It's like they cap out at like level 50 here. I'm basically a god to them. There's also the whole like rocket, the radio tower thing, but that was they did that for lame reasons, not cool reasons like stealing Slowpoke tails.
Yeah, crime only counts if it's for cool reasons.
Yes. So we don't count the radio tower because it was for lame reasons. Although it does let you wear the Team Rocket uniform to like invade it.
Oh, that's when they go. They like hijack a radio tower to find Giovanni.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is our first implied death as well. There's like an event you can get where Giovanni walks into a waterfall and is never found again.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Traumatizing for a child to watch that.
I think Silver is there. Is he?
Yeah,
his son. He's in the area. I'm pretty sure.
That's where it's revealed that Silver is his son.
Yeah, Silver is his son.
Through that event, but like that's time travel shenanigans. Who's to say that actually happened?
That was Celebi was involved.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was like a timed event thing, like a special.
Yeah.
You can't get it in the base game. I see. So everyone knows that Hoenn is the next region, right?
Yes, everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. I think we go a little easier on there's less civilian crimes in Hoenn, I'm pretty sure.
That's good. Hey, good for that.
It's probably made up for the fact that there's two evil teams running about.
Yeah, and both of them are awful, like worse than Team Rocket ever was.
They really did up their game with Gen 8.
Yeah. But like, is making it rain so heavy that all of the life on Earth dies truly a crime?
It's
not on the list that I'm looking at. It's not on the list I'm looking at. What does that fall under? That's not counterfeiting. What are you talking about?
It's just eco-terrorism.
What's the name of the guy who's exclusive to Emerald? Scott. You know Scott, do you, Kitty?
Yeah, the scout.
Yes. Does what he does count as harassment?
What does he do?
He follows you around, and after every major achievement you make, he just comes up to you and is like, "Hey, good job, kid," and then leaves.
Whoa, wait, okay, maybe I'm misremembering this, but apparently he's the owner of the Battle Frontier.
Yeah, he's the owner of the Battle Frontier. He's looking for people to come compete in the Battle Frontier.
Scouting trainers to go to his battle.
But 6 or 7 times he'll just walk up to you and sniff you and be like, "You've got the makings of a strong trainer."
So he's stalking. It's
yeah,
and it's again.
I think
how old are you?
People might disagree
in those games.
People might disagree. I think they get older as you go along, but you're no more than 11 or 12.
Just following a kid. He could fight in my tournament.
There are 11 interactions with Scott.
Jeez, my guy. That's more than once per gym.
Yeah.
What happens to the team? Is it Team Aqua and Team Magma?
They do regret their actions, pretty much immediately after they do them.
What?
But I don't think there's any repercussions.
So in Ruby, it's Team Magma achieves their goal. Well, not achieves, but is going to.
Yeah.
And in Sapphire, it's Team Aqua that achieves their goals. What happens in Emerald?
They both kind of do.
Oh, and that's why Rayquaza comes to stop it. Okay.
So it's instead of the sun is making all of the water evaporate and people are dying of heat stroke, or it's raining so heavily the seas are rising. It's Kyogre and Groudon are fighting, and it is ruining the balance of the Earth.
Okay.
So we got to get Rayquaza to go fix them.
Yeah, they're criminals.
They're very much criminals. They also do steal the orbs to wake up the legendaries.
The other thing that we're not thinking about as well is that in what was it, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, where it turned out that they were all in the parallel
Team
universe
Rainbow Rocket,
where they succeeded.
Yeah.
What?
Can we? All right. Will we get to that when we get to Alola? Maybe.
Okay.
I feel like that's a surprise for Michael later on.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I think that covers Hoenn.
I think there's not a lot that happens in Hoenn.
Are there any up until now? Are there any Pokemon entries Hypno? We all know.
Yeah.
Oh, if we look at the poke,
Criminal.
if we look at yes, 1,000,000,000%. But I think we're focusing on the humans.
Okay.
We would be going.
That
for
can be a
hours.
separate episode. Is villainous Pokemon. So Sinnoh. I mean, Sinnoh even built it even higher than the previous. No, I know Sinnoh, and then Unova, and then I don't know anymore, and then Galar.
Mm-hmm. That's that exists.
Yeah.
But again, this isn't really civilian crime, I don't think. I think it's mostly the villainous teams.
Yeah. I can't think of anyone.
I'm racking my head. They do let a child into the coal mines. There's not really any protection against that. That's probably an OSHA violation somewhere.
Cynthia doesn't hyper beam anyone.
No, Cynthia does not hyper beam anyone. So we should probably just discuss Team Galactic in that case, because I don't think there's anything that anyone does outside of that. So thefts taking hostages. Team Magma and Aqua also took hostages, but we kind of glossed over it. It's hard to remember all of the crimes. Theft, hostages, they blow up a lake.
That's cool. That's a cool crime.
Yeah, that's a cool crime. They kill hundreds of Magikarp in the process.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
You can see them dying. There's nothing you can do.
They block.
Do they blow up 2 lakes?
Yeah,
they obstruct people.
They nearly blow up 2 lakes, doesn't it?
Yeah, they blow up at least one. I don't think they get more than one.
And then Cyrus threatens to blow up Celestic Town. And
yes.
The player stops him. He's just going to blow up a town for the fact that if he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to kill everybody here. Like, oh, who cares? This town's like isolated from everywhere. I can just blow it up. They're Team Galactic, big on their bombs now.
Hey, cool thing to be into there, you know?
They're bombs.
Again, last episode, or the first episode, I talked about how I'm a fire type. I like fire cool, okay? Fire, explosions, that's like super fire.
And then, is creating a new world really a crime?
I think what has to go on, all the steps that have to happen before that, so like the Lake Trio and what Charon,
waking the Pokemon version of Satan.
Yeah.
Is that,
even,
you know...
That Charon dude, the little purple-haired man?
Yeah. Isn't he a Platinum exclusive?
I think so.
He's a little freak.
Yeah.
What does he do? What does Charon do?
He's like their scientist. And
yes.
So he just does a bunch of experiments on Pokemon, mainly the Lake Trio.
Oh god. Okay.
And Heatran, isn't he chasing Heatran at one point?
Yeah. That's like his resurgence plan for Team Galactic. Get Heatran under his control over it.
There is someone, if we want to get into some stuff, there is someone that just sells you a house. For cheaper than a bicycle in Kanto. Does he sell it to you or does he give it to you? I'm not sure, but you can get a house as a little 10-year-old. That's probably a crime.
That's suspicious, at least.
That is suspicious.
That is investigation. It just sells you a house. That's definitely like something happened to the previous homeowners, and he doesn't want it to be abandoned. Because I think it is that
he's like, I can't look after this house anymore. Can you take it off my hands? I think that's the line he leads you with.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's been years since
sell it to a kid. Yeah.
Platinum. That's just what I remember. I love the house. Yeah.
The kid's not going to remember who sells it to.
Is it a crime to not do your job? I don't think it is.
I don't think so. I think that's just tardiness.
Yeah. This is tardiness, because otherwise Volkner does.
Oh, yeah.
Sunny Shore City, loses power, and he, literally has depression and doesn't show up to the gym
Not
ever.
a crime.
Not a crime. Not a crime. But is it a crime if you're, in a position of power?
What, so people that are burdened with positions of power can't get depressed? And
what I'm saying, no, I'm saying is if the Taoiseach of Ireland just started refusing to show up, I guess that's not a crime.
This is more of a Sunny Shore
happening in some place.
Rather than
this is not a city problem.
I think the fact that everybody else sat back and thought, no, he's depressed. Let's just suffer for.
Good people. They
had to get Flint from the Elite Four to come check on him, and even he outsourced the problem to a 10-year-old.
10-year-old. We're just holding on tight for this 10-year-old to come after beating Satan and the gods of space and time.
And there's no time between you beating the gods of space and time and you having to cure depression.
Yeah,
I guess that's why they were so okay with not having power, the citizens. They're like, yeah, but at least the world didn't end, so, I can miss an episode of...
they don't have power for, the entire game, because you can get to where Sunny Shore is pretty early on, but you can't go past because there's no power.
Oh.
Yeah, Sinnoh, the way it's built, has a lot of roadblocks. We should probably move on to Unova. So...
Oh boy.
Again, the obvious ones. This is where we get into further Warcry territory.
There's one person with a big red circle.
Yeah. His name is, what was he? Jesus?
Yeah.
What?
Jesus, yeah.
Really?
His Japanese name is Jesus. You know him as Getsis, Michael.
Okay. Jesus.
So the obvious theft and like generally disrupting the peace, and he tries to kill you, like actively, not like he fights you and is like, haha, like he sticks Kyurem on you. He ices a town. He freezes in a town, uses Kyurem to entirely freeze a town. Child neglect? I think this is the first time like child abuse comes into question.
It's not even neglect. He like purposefully raises this child.
Yeah, it's like cult brainwashing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but also didn't N just get left to the woods on occasion, or did Getsis find him in the woods? Is that what happened?
He left N with Pokemon that had like bad owners or whatever.
Yeah.
But this will definitely lead to a good development of this child. I've just sent in a picture of
Jesus Harmonia Gropius.
His name in Japanese is Jesus.
Gropius.
And N's name is Natural Harmonia Gropius.
Yeah, that's a crime in itself.
That is a crime in itself.
They really did not hold
he
back.
Is, he is drippy as all hell, though.
He looks cool, yeah. Their villain was Jesus.
Is that all he does? There's gotta be more. Was there anything I said that you want me to elaborate more on, Michael?
Well, I want to know because he like brainwashes N or something, right? What does he?
He gaslights and manipulates N into believing that humans and Pokemon should be separate, that humans are abusive towards Pokemon.
Okay.
Because he also calls N a freak pretty constantly.
We should preface that the whole reason why he did all this was because N can speak to Pokemon, and he was like, that is a power that I need. We can take this child and mold this child into what I need at this moment.
N's also like generally a bit of a prodigy. He's like he's not good at speaking to people, but he's like people just like him. So him and Getsis are pretty good at making people think like, oh, I didn't like ask my Pokemon if it wanted to come with when I caught it, so maybe it would be happier in the wild. And then he tries to kill everyone. And
they try to do it twice because Black, White 2.
Well, Black and White 1, he's kind of hiding it, right? Where he's like, no, we're like an activist group. We want the liberation of Pokemon. We want Pokemon to be happy. Whereas in Black and White 2, they're just terrorists. They're not hiding it anymore.
The balls to like fail your world, like it's not really domination, but like world-changing scheme. If I'm gonna summon these legendary Pokemon to gain power, oh, I messed up. Okay, I got beaten. Try it again. It's like, oh man.
I think his end goal is just world domination. I don't think it is like.
Okay.
I think it is just world domination. He's the most like on the nose one, like straightforward. It's not capital gain. It's not a new world. It's not making the world a better place in your vision. He just wants to rule the world.
Now, to be fair, he tries again, but it's with a different legendary Pokemon.
Yes, it's with the secret third option.
Yeah, but he's like fusing Pokemon, which is
That's when the two legendaries like form together, isn't it? Or is it a different one entirely?
It's Kyurem is a different one entirely. All right, I don't know if we can get this deep into the lore. Zekrom, Kyurem, and Reshiram were all at 1.1 Pokemon. Zekrom and Reshiram got split off, and Kyurem was the empty shell they left behind. He fuses them, one of them with Kyurem, depending on which version you have, but you can't fuse all three.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember N shows up with one of them as well, and how like effectively the set Black and White 2 N stops his crappy dad, even though
No, he fails.
Yeah, but like he stood up,
He did show up. He saved you from dying.
Yeah. If N
which then allowed you to
wouldn't have done anything,
He
would have just been standing there with the DNA splicers and his fancy control cane.
Yeah, but also at the same time, you would be dead, because Kyurem was about to kill you. And then, he comes in on Reshiram or Zekrom or whichever, and, blocks the attack. It was a cool-ass cutscene where he gets got by the DNA splicers.
Yeah, very hype.
Now I don't know what the next region is.
I'm trying to think of any petty crimes we might have missed, any, civilian ones, but I think it's mostly just...
Your rival in 2, he, beats some people up, doesn't he? Or he gets real aggressive.
Yeah, to Team Plasma members, I think.
Yeah, so that's warranted,
Yeah.
Stall a crime.
But here's the thing: it's different. It's different from Lance because he knows that they've done. He knows that they're bad.
Yeah, he has just personal issue with them. And also, he gets a slap on the wrist.
Lance doesn't see any.
Lance doesn't, and just stole the champion.
There is one thing that we've glossed over in nearly every game.
Oh, okay.
It has a relatively prominent part in Black and White.
Yeah, go for it.
Biker gangs going about.
That is true.
Oh yeah, there are just yeah.
And nobody's doing it. They can do whatever they want.
But they aren't really mean. They don't obstruct you. If anything, the random group of dancers are more obstructive than the biker gangs in those games.
Yeah, biker gangs aren't bad. They're not bad. There's a lot of biker gangs that are just cool people. They just look scary.
Do you know the dancers in that game, Michael?
In Unova, no.
Yeah, they ran out of ideas for Roblox, right? They'd done Sick Pokemon. They'd done There's Construction. They'd done The Power's Out. They'd done Hey, Grandpa's went a little too hard on the sauce. So when you go somewhere you're not supposed to get to yet, there's sometimes a line of 8 of the same guy, and they're randomly spinning. And if you talk to one of them, they're like, "We are dancing randomly, and one day we will leave." It's okay. So they probably also count as obstruction.
There's also just the gang of the same dude, identical dudes, just standing, blocking the way. I was yeah, whatever.
Just busy streets.
Should we move on to Kalos?
Sure. Yeah, I knew that was...
Where we also get on to another big no-no. Nothing happened in Geosenge Town, you guys. Nothing happened.
Yeah,
go live there. It's the nicest time of year.
There's another
with a big circle.
Big red circle on. And he's not even I don't know what he is.
Mr. The world is not as beautiful as me. I will remake it in my image. Lysander himself.
No, I was thinking of the millennia old weirdo homeless.
Oh, AZ. Yeah, actually, wait. There's 2 big red circles.
Yeah. The actual creator of the weapon that Lysander eventually uses. All because his Pokemon died and he was sad. And he thought, I'm going to destroy the world.
So,
right. Fair enough.
Yeah. Is necromancy a crime, though?
What?
Yeah.
So, AZ was a king 300 years ago? I'm not sure.
3,000 years.
3,000 years ago. The world, including Kalos, was at war, okay? And AZ's Floette, this little tiny fairy creature with a flower, got drafted.
Oh god.
It got drafted to go fight in the war. And the supposed king couldn't overrule it. So instead what he did was built a device that could bring a creature back to... Alright, hang on. I skipped a bit. One day, AZ receives his Pokemon does not return. Instead, he receives a tiny box.
They just they just mail him the body.
Yes, because his Pokemon was dead. They gave him like a little coffin with the Floette in it. Yeah.
Imagine if they did that.
He didn't know it was dead. He'd have to open the coffin to see it.
Like your son goes off to war, and then you get a knock on your door one day, and it's just a coffin. And one guy been like, "Oh, I'm real sorry. Anyway, I got 14 more coffins to deliver today." Just a mailman.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a delivery for you. I don't know what's in it. It's just a big box. You're opening.
So he builds a device that can bring a Pokemon back to life, but it requires like thousands of other lives to fuel. So he sicks it on the world, ending the war single-handedly.
He like kills a bunch of people?
He kills, I think it's Pokemon. I don't think people fought in the war. I think it's all Pokemon that he kills.
Oh my god.
Maybe it is, yeah.
Maybe people died too. But he kills like a lot of Pokemon to bring this one Floette back to life. He is successful, but the Floette then hates him once it finds out what the cost of its life was, and it leaves him. So yeah, if we're going into canonical kill count, I think Kalos is pretty up there.
Yeah, pretty up there. Yeah. It's like I think we had one other kill, Giovanni, and now we're in like the thousands.
Well, we had a few hundred Magikarp. Okay, we had a few hundred Magikarp.
That's true. That's true. I need anyone listening to this to look up Floette. Like this Pokemon. This is what this guy did for this thing?
You also don't... He's like 9 feet tall. This thing is tiny when like it's near him.
He's 9 feet tall?
Yes, he's huge.
Who is this guy? And he's still hanging around?
He's alive! Yeah, he just walks around.
He's burdened with eternal life due to his actions. Years ago.
He just walks around in a beanie.
How did the other person have a bigger red circle than this guy, Ben?
Because I forgot. I forgot about AZ. I forgot he did that.
Jeez.
He's just kind of like, he's just there though at the end. You like read about him or whatever.
He redeems himself.
Yeah, apparently by...
The Floette forgives him.
By the trainer beating him in a battle, everything is right in the world, and he disappears. Yeah. He's released from his eternal torment. Like, come on.
He can die. The Floette, like, descends from the heavens while you're having your champion parade. And
is he the champion?
No, you're the champion. You're getting the champion parade. And then he just, like, walks into the middle of the parade and, like, stops it and challenges you to a fight.
Does he then die after the battle?
Unclear. Okay.
Madness.
Yeah, so AZ, big no-nos. Lysander wakes the weapon up again and nukes Geosenge Town. That probably kills a few people.
No, the activation of the weapon just... Again, flips houses 90 degrees.
That's all it does. So there's a town... I probably sent the picture in before. There's a town called Geosenge Town in Kalos, and after... The ultimate weapon is under Geosenge Town. It's like a weird flower gun thing.
I see.
And then after... Lysander activates it, Geosenge Town is permanently ruined.
Because the ultimate weapon has to, like, come out of the ground.
Yes.
And just uproots all the houses around it and just flips them on their sides.
I mean, you know, that's on them, you know?
He also does fire it, and I believe it's implied, or maybe confirmed, that he kills himself with it.
Oh,
because his plan fails, and he's like, I'm just ending it, and he gets the weapon to fire at itself.
Man, they really like step it up from like Team Rocket to like actual criminal to like Aqua Magma
Well, Team Rocket is like, they could be real, right? That's just like the Mafia. But then there's like world super threats constantly.
Yeah, then Jesus, then 3,000-year-old ancient king who committed genocide.
Well, he's not the bad guy. He's not the bad guy.
I feel like he's still a little bit...
He's just there. You fight him once.
Yeah, he shows up at the very end of the game. After you've beaten the game, he's like, okay, one last battle. But it's for... I don't know, do you know what Lysander looks like? Maybe that's better.
Yeah, Again, I think I've said before, remember if you remember the Pro ZD skit where he's like, this world is imperfect. It's like when you can tell who the villain is before the game tells you who the villain is. He based that character, I believe, off Lysander, because I think the character is literally named Lysander off. like Sander and Sephiroth, I believe. He just, like, you walk into him, he's like, welcome to my cafe. Here is the champion. She's an actor. Isn't she beautiful? Speaking of beauty, the world. It's not beautiful. If only we had a more beautiful world.
Again, talking to a kid, and the child's just like, cool.
Yeah. He also gets into arguments with the champion, with Diantha, or not Diantha. Is it Diantha? Yeah, I was thinking of Diane C for some reason. With Diantha. Because she's like, well... it's the fleetingness that makes the world more beautiful, and he's just like, no, you're going to be old one day, and that means you're not worth anything.
Like, whoa, okay, I'm just here for a coffee, please.
Yeah. He's also extremely obsessed with the color red.
Yeah.
His cafe is painful to look at. It is very red.
Yeah, he is he's very fond of his fashion.
Yeah.
And especially the fashion of his team as well.
They're fond of their fashion too. I think it's also worth noting that in Kalos you can commit crimes.
Oh?
There's a taxi service you can use, right? And you can, I think you need to where this is going. You pay at the end, they take you to the destination, you pay at the end. But if you don't have enough money, the game still lets you use it.
Okay.
And then the taxi driver discovers, like, hey, you don't have enough money to pay for the ride, and they fight you.
Oh. And then if you win money?
Yeah, if you win, you get the ride for free.
Okay. Do you get money from winning? Because you usually gain money from
winning. I'm not sure.
Battles.
I've never done it myself. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the player character does commit, like, you're going around breaking and entering, stealing from trash cans, like... Though it is a child, like the kid, you know.
Yeah, and usually the people whose houses you go into are like amicable towards it. It's not like,
again, it's a kid, you know, a kid running into your house. You're just like, "Where's your parents?" Instead of being like, "What are you doing here? What do you want?" You know.
Yes, like here's a potion. Get out of here.
Scram.
Yeah. So like they're generally amicable. You can just not pay your taxi drivers.
You do get money after you beat the taxi driver.
You take his money. That's
gotta be something as well. Racketeering? Is that racketeering?
Potentially.
Just robbery?
Yeah, it's really just... Oh yeah, dishonest and fraudulent business dealings. Yeah, fair enough. You're racketeering the taxi service of Kalos.
I don't know if that's the right word. But I want to use more of the words on the list here to see how many of them we can get.
A bingo list.
A bingo list of crimes.
Apart from Team Flare, the only other kind of like...
and AZ.
And AZ. I don't know, there's just like...
Wait, what about Emma? Does Emma count? Do you remember Emma, Hedy?
I'm Googling it.
Alright, let me explain then. There's a whole Looker storyline in the post-game, right? Looker, who's like a recurring character ever since Platinum, I believe.
He's a detective,
and he's
detective
He's
Looker.
a detective, yeah. He's from the International Police. He sets up shop in Lumio City, and he like basically adopts this girl who was like lost in the streets. But you come back a few times, and he's like getting increasingly worried about her because he's like, yeah, she's been going out at night and she's been acting strange. Turns out she's like a sleeper agent,
Yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Yeah, so she's like a vigilante who goes out. I don't remember who like put her up to it, but she's been like, her brain's been like wired to like go out and fight people and I think take their Pokemon.
It's just it's the scientist from Team Flare.
Yeah.
The Zero Sick or whatever you call him.
With the X in it, right? But yeah, you can, if you beat her.
This is still Kalos?
This is still Kalos, yeah. So she's going around vigilanteing, or not vigilanteing, I guess it's the opposite of vigilanteing, which is just committing crimes, I guess. But if you beat her enough times, she goes back and they're like a happy family again. Oh no, that's not what happens. He leaves.
Yeah, Looker disappears.
Yeah, he leaves, and then she's like left in charge of the office.
Yeah, because he reveals to her that he's a part of the international police. He's like, I can't be here anymore.
I love Looker, man.
Does he come back after that?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Oh no, back in the game? No, he comes back in a different game later on, not to Kalos.
Okay.
Speaking of next game, Alola, anyone?
Yeah, it's really just whatever.
I don't know if Alola has primes.
It has like the natural stuff going on. Like that's most of the problems you deal with in it.
Yeah. Well, there's still a few big X's. There's Team Skull, who for the most part are just kind of obstructing, harassment, that kind of thing. But they have like taken over a town that they vandalized quite a bit.
Okay.
Town?
Yeah.
So
that's pretty bad.
But there's in some viewpoints and perspectives, maybe that's like an outlet to let go of all that pent up energy that they have.
Maybe they just made Potan. Let Team Skull take it.
Because like, are we told that people used to live in Potan, or was it just created?
I have no idea.
Or Team Skull.
Then there's Luzamine, who's also killed a number of Pokemon.
Oh my god.
Not as much as AZ. She's like
I'd hope not.
She's like less than 10, but it's messed up. You go to like her secret villain lair, and there's like Slowpokes and Pikachus in ice cubes.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's because again we're
really
back on the beauty.
The 2 generations where they got dark. Like
we're back on the beauty should be permanent train. She's like 50 with 2 kids, but looks like a 25-year-old.
Okay.
And she's like, this world, I want a different world where the Pokemon are more beautiful. These Pokemon are beautiful. I have kept them, preserved their beauty. My daughter and son are not beautiful because they betrayed me, and I hate them. So yeah, she killed a few Pokemon, as well as definitely mega child neglect.
Doesn't she like fuse? She becomes like something weird, right?
Yeah, she gets... it's sort of debatable whether it's intentional. There's a Nihilego that takes over her brain, which is like a weird jellyfish Ultra Beast thing.
Okay.
And so, yeah, a Nihilego takes over her brain, and then she kind of turns into a weird jellyfish monster.
Smash.
Is that okay?
only in OG Sun and Moon? That doesn't happen in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but she still definitely kills Pokemon and neglects her children.
That one also has like is that the one with the legendary that's like a power cord?
That's an Ultra Beast, yeah. That's
Ultra Beast. And then there's the weird like clown looking one with like a ball.
That is Blacephalon, another Ultra Beast.
Also an Ultra Beast.
Are those both?
That's not really crimes. That's like aliens. Aliens have appeared and they're sort of like dangerous.
The game devs committed crimes making those guys.
Okay. That's when Looker shows back up. He shows back up and is like, Ultra Beasts are appearing. Let's go stop them. Hey, 10-year-old child, go stop them.
Go fight the aliens.
It kind of is a bit not good on Looker's part, because there's like people from different universe. They're more attracted to fight people that are in the wrong universe or something.
Okay.
And it's like, so like they like sense the energy's wrong and they get like aggressive or something and they fight you. So while he's like taking civilians out, he sends you in because he knows that I think it's revealed that you're from a different universe.
Man, they got weird.
Yeah, it got really weird.
You said this one tied in with like Sapphire and Ruby as
well?
So,
well, that it tied in because that they could get into like alternate universe stuff and Hoopa wormholes. That's how the ORAS, that the remakes are different from the original games, is what I said that one time.
They made the ORAS remakes, or the ORAS games, I should say, the Ruby and Sapphire remakes, before they made Sun and Moon. So okay, we need to, in case anybody asks.
It cleared up a little bit of the lore purposes of like, hey, why do we have Mega Evolution? Yeah, the continuity. Like, why do we have Mega Evolution? Why is there like a tribe of dragon keepers that weren't there before? Mm-hmm. Why is the games corner closed? It's like, oh, it's because it's technically a different universe.
Yeah, that's the real issue. That's what everybody was finding out.
I was sad, man. Should we drop the bomb now, Yiddy?
Oh
no. Just before we do that, fun fact.
Okay.
Apparently, like, the stats of the Ultra Beasts are all like apparently prime numbers.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Or like, it's either prime numbers or some of them are like prime factors.
Oh.
Which is pretty cool.
Ultra Beasts are weird, man.
But yeah, okay, time to drop the bomb.
So, do you want to do it or should I?
I think you should do it.
So, in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, there's like a mission that you get where villains from past games have come from these wormholes. They've shown up and they've organized themselves into one big group called Team Rainbow Rocket.
Okay. That's a cool
Love
name.
wins.
I like that name.
It is. And they've got new outfits and stuff. Giovanni, instead of having a red R on his shirt, it's literally a rainbow R. But the kicker is they're all the same as themselves, but in their universe they succeeded.
Oh god, okay.
Yeah. So like you talk to Maxie and he's like, yeah, I successfully raised the landmass, and Archie's like, yeah, except Archie's white again.
Yeah.
It's very strange. He's like, yeah, I successfully drowned everyone. And then Guest is like, yes, I am the king of the world.
Do any of them like regret? What does Giovanni achieve?
Mafia kingpin, hella rich. He's also the leader of Team Rainbow Rocket.
No way. He becomes they're like,
he has a Mewtwo. That's one of the things.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's okay.
Of all the evil team leaders that we've spoken up until this point,
Giovanni's not. Is Lysander in Team Rainbow Rocket? I don't remember.
He is.
I don't think he is. Is he? Okay.
He is.
Did they all have legendaries, or is I don't think
they all are? I'm just going through them. I think they do. Yeah.
Oh my
is
God.
This in the base game?
No. Yes, of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Cool.
I forget what the trigger is to get them to show up. Maybe just beat.
This is still. No, this is okay.
This is Alola. So they don't do any crimes in Alola,
well,
but
yeah.
in their universes they did more crimes than even fathomable.
Oh my god.
So this is where I was getting at, that do we count each of these people and their alternate universe selves where they succeeded and did even worse things than they did in the main games?
Yeah, I don't think we do. I think we put this to Alola.
Yeah, Alola really has like the act, like the evil gang in there are like just a couple like dweebs that aren't really doing anything bad, and then it's like, and the ultra version of all of the past villains. I was like, oh god. Okay, really stacked it at
Cyrus,
the end there.
Lysander killed everyone, and like on the planet, he's got a 7.5 billion kill count, and has made a new world.
And then like, what are you, like 14 in that game? You just beat them all
Yeah, you're
up.
like 14 at most. Yeah.
We're sure glad this kid didn't exist in our timeline.
Yeah. I don't think
Wild.
there's anything else that happens. That's like, yeah. And it's like not a big part of the story. It's just like a fun thing that's thrown in at the end.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because it's relegated to one of the like side modes. It's like in the festival plaza, I think. Is it?
You don't even need to do.
You don't even need to do it. And also, no one does the festival plaza. Like the only reasons I've done the festival plaza is because the game has forced me to go there for the tutorial.
Yeah.
And 2, to do the Rainbow Rocket stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because also Colress is bopping around, and he's like wanted for crimes. So does that count as evading justice?
You know, let's put it down. Okay.
So Colress, he's the man that like made all of Team Plasma's machines. He's the reason that Opelucid City got iced. And he has fled the Unova region and is hiding in Alola, and he just goes around sometimes and fights you.
I'm reading as a
And his theme is awesome.
So back to the Rainbow Rocket things just for a second. So Giovanni just appears and takes control of the Ether Foundation.
Oh, it's the Ether Foundation they take. Okay.
And then he like builds a castle, and then he puts Max and Cyrus and Lysanders and gets as his guards. Where is it now? He wants to create an army with Ultra Beasts to conquer all worlds. But then he's talking. He's gonna brainwash Luzamine into serving him. Like, oh, okay.
I don't think Luzamine is Luzamine really an asset to the cause.
No, well, it's like he's gonna brainwash her. So like, what?
Yeah, that's not
right. What did you accomplish with that?
So another fun thing about Rainbow Rocket is they're all just dudes in suits except for Getsis. He's wearing. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm putting up a picture of it. Do your best to put this to words, Michael. Pick the odd one out.
Okay.
He's wearing, it's like a big ass cloak that has 2 eyes on it, and also his like collar is a crown.
He really missed the like uniform memo.
Yeah.
But
Drippy as whole though. Also, Archie has been de-drippified. He is once again a white man with no anchor chains.
Yeah. But like the whole thing is that they saw there was a flash of light one day, and then they appeared in this world, and then like Giovanni was like, "You are now my guards. Do my bidding," and they were like, "Yeah, sure."
And they agreed. I imagine if all of these eagles were put in the same room, they would just start eating each other.
Yeah.
The only one I like can imagine not fighting is like Cyrus. I imagine him trying to sneak away to the distortion world or something. But Maxie and Archie are definitely fist fighting as soon as they lay eyes on each other.
Damn. Well, we are running out of time. So
yes,
is there a lot in Galar and Paldea?
Not really. No, I think we've
not really.
Peaks and then it falls off again.
Again, it's like the villainy gets less and less. It's just all obstruction is all they do, and the chairman Rose, I guess, tries to like end the world somewhat.
He like tries to bring infinite energy or something.
Yeah, infinite energy. There's Swordward and Shieldbert who do some theft. I don't think there's any crimes that happen in Paldea that I can think of.
It's just gross negligence by a professor.
Yeah, it's child neglect again, but like even worse this time.
And the main crime that happens is because it's a Pokemon that commits it by killing the professor. Yeah.
Oh my god!
That's the last confirmed kill. And then there's stuff in the DLC with like the main control, new legendary, and all that stuff. But,
oh yeah. Calyrex, isn't it?
Oh no, the very like newest one that.
Oh well, Calyrex also mind controls.
Oh yeah, he just forcefully takes control of somebody. But like that's all just sentences compared to what we've.
Yeah, so I think we peaked in Kalos, and the worst we get after that is like child neglect.
Yeah.
My goodness, I did not know.
Which is still bad, obviously.
I really thought we were going to be dealing mainly with petty crimes. I didn't know it got so crazy.
There's probably things we've missed as well. Like, I almost missed AZ.
That's nuts.
Children's game, everyone.
Children's game.
Children's video game.
Like, so, like the Team Rainbow Rocket stuff, you have to go looking for it. The game makes you watch a cutscene about AZ slaughtering thousands.
For like a little flower thing.
Yeah.
He loved the flower thing, though. It was his flower thing. It was his best friend.
And then you maybe kill him.
Yes, and then you take his Floette as well. You can get his Floette.
You did what the?
It's like an event distribution they got. You're like, oh, you can get AZ's Floette because it looks different. It's like blue and red.
Oh, that's why he did it. It was a shiny.
It was a shiny.
I get it now. I understand. Yeah.
He gets drafted and he does the Green Goblin thing. The Norman Osborn was like, "You can't do this to me."
Do you know how many soft resets I did for that one?
Yeah, you know how much I've sacrificed.
Well, that was a very informative episode for me. Also because I'm pretty sure I won't forget that Johto comes before Hoenn now.
Let's go!
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening. I don't think we've brought it up yet, but we don't have names for our listeners yet. So the other show I do on this channel, Late Night, Katie and I call the viewers and listeners peepers because they be peeping.
Yo, this is full of strong women.
Yeah, we dabble in crime over there. So we're gonna have to come up with names. Any names off the top of your heads, or will we?
Should they be Pokemon related, or should we not do that?
Whatever you guys feel.
Oh God.
Do you have any ideas right off the top? We can workshop it.
Right now.
Grunts?
Grunts.
Trainers? Gym trainers?
Trainers?
You know, I like grunts, you know.
Grunts is kind of funny. The reason it's in my head because we just did the crime episode.
Oh, man.
Let's maybe not do grunts.
I am going to call the listeners grunts.
Okay.
Well, to all the little grunts out there listening, I hope you guys had a good time. This was a long one.
Yes, as we got to like Hoenn, I was like, okay, we gotta speed this up a bit.
I had no idea. I was like, we're making good pace, and then we got to
we haven't even got to Team Plasma yet.
Man, farewell, grunts. Hope to see you next episode. Kisses from me.
Kisses from me. Farewell again.
Still no kisses.
No kisses to the grunts. Bye-bye.